Auto insurance can be super complicated. You get your declarations page in the mail every year. You don't know what half of it means. All you look at is what is the premium, but what are the 10 key things you need to know in an auto insurance policy? Today, I'm gonna let you know. The first term to know on an auto insurance policy is bodily injury. This is the thing that the state requires you to have, and the minimums are $15,000 per person and $30,000 per accident. So essentially it means if you would hit somebody, what you have on your insurance policy to pay for their bodily injury. We recommend at least $100,000 per person and $300,000 per accident. That's a good spot to be. Anything below that, you might be at risk of being underinsured, which is not ideal. Number 2 is property damage. This is the other element that is required by the state of PA for you to carry is property damage. The minimum is $5,000, which in today's world is nowhere near enough. It's not been changed in a long time. So if you would hit somebody, some vehicle, another person's car, and you cause damage to their vehicle, if you have state minimums, you only have $5,000 to give that person to fix their car back up, which in today's world is not enough. In the world of backup cameras and sensors and all sorts of things, $5,000 does not get you very far, much less if you hit a Mercedes, a Porsche, something like that. You're going to be looking at a pretty hefty bill, and they might come back after you if you don't carry adequate limits. Number 3, which you probably know, is deductibles. And these are the amounts of money that you choose beforehand to cover your own vehicle and how much you're going to pay out of pocket. This is the amount that you pay before the insurance company steps in and covers the rest. Number 4 is your comprehensive coverage. And so comprehensive is everything that is not your fault. So if you get a rock through your windshield, can't control it, comprehensive. If you would hit an animal, so you hit a deer or a bear going down the road, you can't control that bear's there, that deer's there. That's a comprehensive claim. If your car gets vandalized, if a tree falls on your vehicle, those are all examples of comprehensive claims, and you set your deductible for that. We recommend a lower deductible, generally about $250. That way, your windshield claims will be covered. If you have a high comprehensive deductible, you will pay for most windshield claims and glass claims out of your own pocket because a windshield costs generally less than $500. And so if your deductible is $500, you'll pay for that out of pocket. Number 5 is collision. And collision protects you from things that are a little more your fault. Like you run into another car, you run into a building, you run into a mailbox, you hit a telephone pole. All of those things, your car collides with something else, is under the collision coverage on your auto insurance policy. Your deductible then, which you determine, is usually a little higher, we recommend, because it's a little more expensive than comprehensive, and you can pay out the first generally $500, and then the insurance company covers the rest. Generally, these claims are a little more expensive, and so that's why the deductible is adjusted upward. Number 6 are first-party benefits. So in each auto insurance policy, there's a section that's built in as first-party benefits, and that is stuff for you. As the auto insurance carrier, the car owner, the policy owner, these are things that protect you. And some of these coverages are medical expense. So you're injured in a car accident, you may have some medical expense to go pay for your medical. Second is income loss. If you are injured in a vehicle and you are hurt and you can't work, your auto insurance policy can provide first-party benefits, income loss to you. Another one may be funeral. So if you get killed in an accident, your family members can get paid out an amount for your funeral benefit. So there's a few things built in to the first-party benefits. You don't need them. They're not required by law, but they're nice things to have to protect you from what might happen in the crazy world of on the roads in Pennsylvania. Number 7, key term in an auto insurance policy is tort, or your tort option. And a tort in Pennsylvania, you have 2 options, limited and full tort. Full tort is generally a little more expensive than limited tort because it allows you to sue for anything. So for example, if you have a full tort coverage on your auto insurance policy and you would get rear-ended or in an accident and it's not your fault and your right wrist is now hurting a while after and you cannot play golf as well as you had before, pickleball maybe as well as you had before, you can sue the person who hit you for pain and suffering under a full tort option. Limited tort is as it sounds and limits what you can sue for. So in that same example, I would not be able to sue that person because the damages are minor and it's just pain and suffering primarily. Now, if you have a limited tort and you would be in a serious accident and you're, for example, paralyzed, you can then sue that person. But the whole goal of the limited tort option is to limit the amount of lawsuits and issues that people have with each other based off of car accidents. So you have an option, full tort, limited tort. Which one would you like? Number 8 is uninsured and underinsured motorist, UM or UIM coverage. And this provides you as the policyholder coverage if you would be hit by somebody who does not have insurance or does not have enough insurance. So you get hit by somebody in a hit and run and they leave and you're stuck and you have some serious injuries. The police don't find that person ever. That is considered an uninsured motorist. And so this coverage on your policy will pay for your bodily injury that arises from that. As I talked about earlier, the state minimums are super low in Pennsylvania, $15,000 per person. So if you were to be hit by somebody who has $15,000 under their bodily injury on their auto insurance policy, but you get seriously hurt by that person, they will give you your $15,000. That's all they get. And then your policy can step in and pay the difference and whatever else because they are underinsured. What we usually do is match that with the liability limits. And so if you have 100, 300, your UIM will also be 100, 300. If you got 250, 500 on your bodily injury, we'll match that under UIM. Some insurance companies or agents try to cut that down to save you some money. We recommend keep it the same. It's extra protection for you. You never know when you might need it. Number 9 is gap coverage. It's a hot topic these days in 2023 with the price of used vehicles super high. But what gap coverage does on your auto insurance policy is fills the gap of what you owe versus what your vehicle is worth. So say you buy a brand new Mercedes and you drive it off the lot, the depreciation from a new vehicle is crazy and you get in an accident. And we will pay you the actual cash value for your vehicle, the depreciated amount. And sometimes that is not the amount or a little less than the amount that you owe on your loan. The insurance gap coverage covers that gap and will pay the amount you have on your loan so you are out free and easy. Lastly, and this is one that most insurance policies offer and people don't necessarily think about as much, is roadside assistance. Kind of like a AAA, but if your vehicle is stranded, if you have a dead battery, if you have something along those lines, you can get roadside assistance on your auto insurance policy to either cover the cost of towing that you paid up front or to use one of their services and come out and help you get your car fixed, change a tire, whatever it might be to get you back up and running. There is a cost associated with it. Generally, it's not very expensive. Some people who have AAA decide not to take this coverage, but it's up to you. It's a nice perk to have on your auto insurance policy. And so think about it. Talk to your agent, figure out the cost of it and what makes sense for you. So those are the 10 key terms to an auto insurance policy. Next time you're going to go for a quote or you're talking to your agent about what coverages you might have, you know what you're talking about and you can ask them some key questions and make sure that you have the right coverage for you and the right policy for you at the right cost. If you've got questions about your current policy, you want us to look over it and make sure it's up to par, feel free to reach out. We have agents here all the time that are happy to help, free of charge to you, and give you some recommendations on things that we think you should increase, maybe decrease, and even provide different quotes. We're an independent agent. We work with Erie Insurance and a variety of other insurance companies that we can get an auto insurance quote for you to make sure you have the most competitive rates possible in the market today. Check us out online, give us a call, and we'll see you next time.